Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. Today's episode is once again sponsored by DDBT's wigs. Now this is 22-inch wig. You can have a straight, coily, bouncy, whichever way you want it. Get in contact with us, any length, any texture, we get you sorted. Now let us dive into today's episode because it's been a challenging couple of days and I must say it's draining. A friend of mine contacted me and said they want me to advise one of their cousins who wants to jackpot. Initially I laughed because I was like, why am I the one advising your cousin? Because you should be the one advising your cousin, not me. Why am I getting involved in this whole situation? Although she was here before me, like a year before me, I can say that we took different paths. Let me put it that way. She took her own path, I took my own path, but we've been friends since then. And she's learned lessons the hard way. I've also learned my own lessons. You know, we have our own unique challenges that we faced over the years. And we've always talked about our challenges. We've always talked about, you know, our experiences and how we could have done things better if we could turn back the hands of time. Anyway, one of our cousins wants to travel, and she contacted her and said, you know, I want to travel. This is the situation. I want to do A, B, and C. I would like to come to your place and stay for a couple of, you know, until I get myself sorted, basically. And she's been advising the cousin to take up some courses before coming, do A, B, and C. And the cousin has been saying, no, that's all. Once she gets there, she's going to get things sorted. She's going to do A, B, and C. Once, like, she don't want to stress herself in Nigeria. She just wants to relax in Nigeria because she knows that once she gets here, she will be hustling. So this lady is basically trying to tell her cousin, you know, do nursing or do some IT courses or, you know, reevaluate your life before you travel. And this cousin is not having it. You know, I think once you make up your mind to travel, there's that spirit of jackpot. Regardless of anything that anybody is telling you, you're not going to listen. So when she called me, she told me about it. I laughed because I was like, hey, your cousin did not listen to you. Is it me that your cousin is going to listen to? Like, I don't understand. Why am I getting involved in this situation? But she was really trying hard to explain things to her cousin, explain situations or, you know, how things work. But the cousin over there is thinking, you're not smart, you've not done this, you've not done that. So she was trying to kind of make me talk to her, me that, you know, she think is more successful, to explain to the cousins that, you know, yeah, this person has done it, but, you know, she faced A, B, and C challenges. We also faced all those challenges. So it's better for you to put some certain things in place so that you're not going to face some of these challenges that we have faced. Anyway, she gave me the cousin's WhatsApp number and I introduced myself. I said, your cousin wants me to talk to you about A, B, and C. And she was like, yes, you know, her cousin told her about me, about, you know, what I've done, where I am right now. And that is where she will want to be in the next, you know, 3 years. And I'm like, hold on, hold on a minute. What is the visa you're using to come into this country? She said that she's just trying to pay somebody to attach, you know, for them to join together. He will pay part of the school fees. She will bring part of the school fees and be a dependent on him. And, you know, I was like, okay. Is this somebody you're in a relationship with? Is this somebody that you're looking to get married to? She said no, that she's not looking to get married to the person. It's just for her to, she has part of the money. She don't have all the money. That would be like a way for her to just leave Nigeria and start her life over. So I was like, okay, you know, the possibility of this working is actually 50-50. You know, you can get here and your visa is attached to this person. Unless you get here, hit the ground running, changing things, doing A, B, and C. So I was just giving her a general advice on, it's possible, but once you get here, you have to have an agreement with this person. Like, the person will take care of themselves, you're going to take care of yourself, and all the money you're working, because I don't know the kind of agreement the both of you have, because since your visa is dependent on that person, and that person's visa is dependent on the success of their studies, then I don't know the kind of agreements the both of you have, but you guys are tied until you get yourself sorted, and you have to right now start thinking of how you're going to do that in the next, because it's 1 year, and if that person doesn't pass their course, there's a possibility they're not going to get that extension that the both of you are hoping on. So I was like, just trying to get her to understand, certain ways. She said, oh, her sister explained all those things to her, that she talked to somebody, the person told her, oh, she just needs to do A, B, and C, and she'll be sorted. The way this lady was talking, it was as if she was going to come to the UK, she's going to... There is no understanding of, okay, you're going to get here. The visa is not the end. It's just like the beginning, the starting point of whatever you're going to get there to do. Traveling, let me just put it this way. Traveling abroad is not a destination. It's a journey on itself. And before you embark on that journey, before you travel long distance, let's say you're the driver, you have to make sure you have enough fuel. Even if you don't have enough fuel that will take you to the end destination, you have to have fuel that will take you to the nearest fuel filling station where you're going to fill up your tank. You have to make sure that you have water, you have your oil gauge. You have to check all those things to make sure that the car itself is even okay. And then, because even if the car is okay, even if you've done all these checks, you have to have insurance, because you don't know what's going to happen on the way. You might be driving and something will run out of the road and just hit your car. So there are so many things you have to put in consideration before you do certain things. I think the problem people have is they don't see the process, or they see the process, but they think that process, because you didn't follow or you're not smart enough, that was why you have to go through that process. That can work in Nigeria, because in Nigeria somebody can wake up and then a friend of theirs got into the House of Assembly and then they give them one contract, and tomorrow they go from having 1,000 in the account to having 100 million in the account. That can happen. Or you can just be walking, you see one allergy, and the allergy will be like, why are you walking on the streets? The allergy who has money buried in his house and everything, I don't know what to do with money. The person will just carry money and give you, and you become a millionaire. It happens in Nigeria. But when you're coming to a structured society, unless you want to go into hush puppy situation. So after talking to the cousin, I just called her back and I was like, your cousin is not, sometimes experience is the best teacher. Some people don't learn from other people's mistakes or other people's challenges. They'll be like, oh, you suffered, I don't want to suffer. But you're telling them, you have to still go through it, but I will guide you. You don't have to do A, B, and C. That way it will be better. You come out with a better outcome than I did. So I just called her. I said, listen, just leave your cousin. The only thing I will tell you is tell her if she's going to go, she should go and stay with the person, because it's not even in the same city. I said, once she gets to your house, she's going to frustrate you, because she's going to feel like she's going to rely basically on you, and with the mindset that she has, you are going to get frustrated, and at the end of the day, it's going to fracture family relationship. So just let your cousin do what she wants to do. She said, okay, she's going to advise the cousin. And after that phone call, I sat down, and it was funny to me, because this was the same person that, I understand why she wanted me to advise the cousin, because that was the same advice I gave to her that she did not take. And I guess she was kind of feeling some kind of way, and she didn't want her cousin to make the same mistakes that she made. But some people will not listen. In terms of working hard, they were working hard and they were making money, but they had no plans. It was just about making money. And I realized that, yes, you can make all this money now, but in the next 10 years, if you're still making that amount of money, you're in your 20s now, but then you're going to be in your 30s. Maybe you now have children, you are married, or you have a husband, or you have a wife. Like, that situation is definitely going to get complicated. And if you don't have any means to improve your earnings, if you only have to increase your hours to earn more money, then there is a problem. So I remember I decided to go back to school, and they were like, those that went to school, they are all in McDonald's working. What's the point? It's better for me to just do all this qualification, social work qualification, care qualification. They were just doing all this, care qualification, social work. Some of them did. There was one that was working in underground. They were good. They were making money. And somehow when I went back to school, we kind of lost contact because I was focusing on my focus and they were focusing on their money, So that was, I think, where the trajectory changed. I graduated, I moved up, and we met at a recent event because one of us then, mutual friend, got married and we all had to attend that event. So almost everybody then, some of them went back to Nigeria anyway, but the ones that were still there, we attended that event, that wedding, and we had a round table, we sat down, we're talking. You could see how most of them were still doing the same job. Most of them were still working more hours, and they couldn't believe I was just sitting down at home. They couldn't believe all the things I've been doing, in my life. I have a business, I have a YouTube channel, I bought a house, I work from home. They were looking at me like, what jazz did you use? Like, what? I said, no, I didn't. I just had a plan and I followed that plan. Money was not the plan. My goals was my plan. My fulfillment was my plan. My passion was my plan. And everything will fall into places. If you chase money, you're going to get money. But you're going to get to a point where you get to that point, the highest point you can get at that level, you're only going to come down. But when you chase passion, when you chase a goal, when you have an ambition, you can only go up, 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 because you're always going to be trying to improve on whatever you're doing, how to be the best at what you do. But when it's all about money, you're only thinking about how you're going to make more money. And in diaspora here, if you're talking about making more money, you see people working crazy hours. Some people working 100 hours, some people working 80. I used to work with somebody who did night shifts. The night shift finishes 6 o'clock, and then the person sleeps from 6 to 8, starts 8:30. Like, they just lock themselves in one of the cupboards, sleep for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then they're back to work. I looked at this man because he is married with children. He used to be in Spain and then he moved to UK. This was like how many years ago? Can't remember. So he was literally working around the clock to get some money, feed his family, take it. I was like, how is this sustainable? How is this sustainable? You're working double shift, putting all the work, doing all these things, and then in the next 5, 6, 10, because the time goes quickly. In the next 10 years, you look at yourself and you'll be like, oh my God, where has the time gone? I had a friend who, we all came together, he was money, 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 money. Wherever money is, that is where you will see him. Very hardworking, very enterprising, but all the focus was money. it was later I got to talk to him, and he said he's been to one of all these other European countries. It didn't work out. So when he came to UK, he was like, it is going to be money. His focus was going to be money. I spoke to him recently, and he is literally is a confused human being, because at this point he didn't even know where to start from, because he did that job. He was working nights. He did that for over 10 years, and now he's trying to get out of it, find a new, when you look at all your friends, they are like doing different things. Some of them are married, some of them are doing well, and you just realize that you've been stuck in one job for 10 years. I understand that some people will be like, oh, how that is not even possible. If it's me, This is where people fall into that trap, because your thinking is not possible. It is not only possible, but it is happening. If you don't have a plan, if money is your primary focus, you are going to easily fall into that trap. You see somebody, you'll be like, okay, why do you want to travel? They'll be like, I want to make money. You can make money anywhere. What is the plan? How do you want to make this money? What do you have what plans have you got in place? Because you think, okay, once I travel, I start working, you calculate pounds in naira, be like, if I'm just making this amount of money per month, that's it. Life is going by. I remember when I was trying to save money to get my documents done, for like 2 years, I did not know whether outside was blue or black. That is how 2 years went by without me even. I had to, once I get that sorted, I was like, okay, let's go back to the original plan. My point is, it is very easy to lose yourself when you travel, and the best thing anybody can give you, let's say you want to travel and somebody is advising you, somebody who has done it, somebody who has been through that road and seen all the challenges that is there, is telling you, do this, do this, do this. You might be thinking, you're telling me to go and do nursing 4 years, you want me to stay in this country for another 4 years. That person knows why they are telling you to do that thing. You might be thinking, once I get there, is it not 4 years? By that 4 years, I've done this, I've done that. You are still going to waste that time. You're still going to waste it. The only conclusion that I've realized is anybody that wants to travel, I don't think they are willing to listen to advice. There are some people who would rather travel by ship than to actually sit down in Nigeria and do nothing. They will travel by ship. They will not be doing house gear. They will pay thousands, millions of naira, thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars and pounds to go and do house gear, to go and but they will not sit down. If it's going to take you 4 years, 5 years to put your plan in place before you travel, for your own good, do it. But you cannot also blame people that haven't experienced what you have gone through. Grace is different. I get it. But even with that grace, you still have to work. You still have to plan. So everybody that wants to jackpot, everybody that wants to travel, it is a very good thing. It's a very good plan. But take your time. Go through YouTube. Just hear people's experiences. What I told the lady is, even if you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, even if you don't want to listen to what your sister is saying, just go on YouTube and type, life in UK, life in Canada, life in Australia, things I should have done before I travel. That way, you hear from other people. You hear what they could have done or should have done or would have done if they were better informed. So you have that information. You can now make your decision. Don't just jump and travel. Don't do it. Don't do it though. But, you can only advise people. You cannot tell them how to live their life or what to do. people have, there are some people who have chosen to, they would rather suffer than make a plan. They would, what God cannot do does not exist. Once they fall into that category, there's nothing you can tell them, because they believe that God will do it, even without a plan. Unmerited favor. Because some of those people look successful because they are working 100 hours, they are working 80 hours, they are working crazy hours around the clock. You see them, they're making money, they look successful, but 10 years down the line, it's not about speed. It's not about speed. It's not about making money. Because I think the diaspora has made it easy for you can access money once you know what you're doing, once you know how to play your card right, follow due processes. Access to money will not be the problem. But how do you get all those things? How do you position yourself to be able to access all these things is what a lot of our people are not willing to do, because we're used to cash is king. Here, credit is king, and you have to do certain things to be able to position yourself to be able to access all those things. Anyway, people will not listen, because they'll be like, you've done it, now you don't want people to do it. You suffered. We are not going to suffer the way you suffered. People that have chosen to suffer, that is their right to choose. The ones that have chosen to do things and plan ahead of time, that is also their right. Even if you look at them and you think they're not successful. Listen, I tell people, it's not about now. Sit down and watch YouTube. Watch other people's experiences. Watch what they have gone through. Watch how they have lived their life. Because you're going to a new place that you don't know how things work. So all you need is information. Arm yourself with information. Know those skills that they're looking for in those places. Try to learn those skills. Improve yourself. Don't just wake up, study zoology in Nigeria, there's no work, Nigerian government is bad. Have you thought about doing some other qualifications that will help you? Okay, now you're trying to travel. You know that you are not going to work with that zoology where you're traveling to. You still need qualifications, but this will be like, even if I'm cleaning, if I'm earning 1,000 is 1 million per month in Nigeria, that is still better. That is not a plan. It is not a plan, because you've not thought about the bills that you're going. You see, the thing is, people just look at the income and they think that is it. That is just because you're going to pay bills, you're going to pay rent, you're going to pay everything you're going to pay, and you're going to realize that even that 30,000 you're earning in Nigeria is better than the 1,000 pounds that you're earning in the UK. If you actually sit down and do the calculation. But people don't want to see all these things. Anyway, everybody have their choices. I don't want to make this video too long, so thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Thank you very much. Bye bye.